Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for SUI render and FET price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with SUI on the 4-hour chart where we have 1 2 1 2 on a of course larger scale, and we're looking after this potential wave 2 here bottom. We start to see of course another double 1 2, which is of course on the 1-hour chart can be likely of course finished a double 1 2 and then 1 2 3 4 and a 5 4 and a 5. But don't forget that we still have another 1 2 here possible in the orange scenario for a wave 4 and a 5 again. Now basically I took of course this potential target for a wave 5 from the wave 1, and if I base it on the wave 3 here, we see of course that we might hit the $4 or 3.91 $3.82 for SUI. Now there are of course different possibilities that might be unfolding in this area. Of course, after a wave 3 here finished in potential 1 2 3, wave 4, wave 5, there is also a likely scenario that wave 5, the same one of course in the blue scenario, might still be unfolding as an ending diagonal. And that means of course that these three wave 3 and wave 5 has to be postponed for later, of course after one more leg towards the upside, in case we get of course a diagonal, because obviously that this can be a diagonal and can be of course the 4 5 4 5, because both are impulses here, taking a little bit the high here and showing kind of like a potential of an impulse of a diagonal, sorry, in impulses, of course, for wave 1, 3, and of course, you're expecting, therefore, a wave 5 impulsive. Therefore, if we are here in a wave 4 first for the orange scenario, you might expect, of course, an invalidation for this diagonal. And that means if it's gonna invalidate this diagonal by taking the low here, especially breaking this channel, right? This channel taken from the highs parallel to the low here. And if the price move towards this channel, breaking it, and of course seeing something like wave 4 longer than wave 2, this scenario is invalidated, and we're looking therefore for a wave 4, maybe deeper, and then moving for higher prices again for a wave 5, which is likely to be at a $3.8 or a $3.9 for SUI. Now, of course, in this case, once this impulse is finished, of course, it defines the direction of the market. Don't forget that we are therefore looking for higher prices again. And it might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. All of it here, of course, as a wave 1, you're looking for wave 2. And then, of course, continuation toward the upside. So this is regarding SUI, this is what I'm looking for. And don't forget that if we are in the diagonal, we might simply take the high a little bit and then dropping down for a wave 2, meaning the wave 1 might have finished over there and you're looking for higher from, of course, after a wave 2. All right, that was for SUI. For render, we are of course also on the 4 hours chart here. Now you gotta be careful with render a little bit. It shows a little bit of weakness always since that time here, where we took of course the low 886 and we start to see kind of like a formation of an A, B, C, D and an E triangle, finishing of course wave E towards the upside, meaning reversal downward. And we're looking of course here at a potential impulse, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside as an impulse, which is not really good. ABC, of course, followed. Can be, of course, a wave 2, so we gotta be careful with it. And if we dive deeper here, after the impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, don't forget it can be an ABC expanding flat. Finishing wave 2 here, or even can be there. The wave 2 finished over there was 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And that means, of course, that you might have finished the wave C expanding flat and you start in 1, 2 again, meaning this can be, of course, an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and a C, of course, wave 2. And then we start to see kind of like double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 towards the downside, if this is the case. Now, in case that we have topped here, bottomed here for a wave 2 in a wave Y and not over there, of course, because of that, there are differences in a wave Y. You can bottom exactly for a wave 2 there, and that means of course that you might be in a 1 2 here, right? So the wave 2 is has unfolded, and currently you're looking at double 1 2 again, 3 4 5 4 5, or you can be in a leading diagonal wave 1 2 and then 3 4 and a 5 toward the upside. Now, of course, signal and key level for this is simply taking the low, seeing, of course, this price taking this low. That means, of course, we are confirmation, like a confirmation for lower, guys. So we gotta be careful. That means you still, of course, have one more chance to test this area. And that means, of course, after wave 1 and ABC or WXNY to be tested, and then, of course, probably moving towards the upside. But we gotta be careful with render. It's not showing a lot of strength as it should be, but yeah, we gotta still, of course, see if the bullish scenario is still gonna continue towards the upside. That was it for render. Let's move for FET on the 4 hours chart. For FET, we're looking also at this impulse after the low here. We have a wave 1, we have WX and a Y. The wave Y, of course, finishing wave 2 potentially and start the move toward the upside. On the 1 hour chart here, we can see, of course, an impulse finished as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, this wave 2 after it, which is followed here, is taking, of course, a longer time as usual. I don't know why. But yesterday, or 1 hour ago, sorry, we just hit, of course, the 0.38 Fib level, which is minimum requirement finally for wave 2. And this is, of course, definitely a corrective wave that we are looking at here. Can be a WX and a wave Y here. And we start to look for higher sooner or later. Unless it is, of course, an A, B, and a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your wave A is small, A, B, C expanding flat for wave B. And, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning all of it is an expanding flat again. A, B, 3 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C waves. For a wave C, and that means, of course, it might still looking for lower in a diagonal potentially here, and then moving toward the upside one more time again. And of course, it can be ABC, don't forget, A, B, and a C, since this is a very long range, ABC. Or it can be still, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this key level here at 0.66 has to be broken, of course, for the wave 3. Otherwise, of course, it might play as a corrective wave, ABC, and then dropping down again. That was it for SUI, Render, and FET. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.